You're now watching This AFC South Show, brought to you by Curtis Podcast Network, hosted by Curtis Brown, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel. Well, everybody, let's get ready for episode 100 here on the channel, Curtis's Podcast Network. Of course, I'm the host, Curtis Brown, and this is This AFC South Show. I'm joined, of course, by Jeff Steckel, our Colts fan, Isaiah Michelli, our Jags fan, Blake Bellamy, our Titans fan. You could all, comment at them in the comment section down below. We like it. We enjoy it. Okay. All right. So this is the final This AFC South show of the season. Technically, the season finale. Finale.
The season finale.
The season finale. Anyway, so we're not going to have these coming out for at least a couple months. Instead, we will have the team-specific pods. We are Tighten Up Tuesday. We are Texans Wednesdays, Duval Thursdays, and For the Shoe Fridays. Of course, we will all be on our separate show, and I'll be hosting all of it, and we'll be getting guests and trying to get it to grow. So hit the likes, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And let's get into it. The Colts finally have direction, and his name is Shane Steichen. Former offensive coordinator for the Eagles, former offensive assistant coach for the Chargers from 2014 to 2020 before he took over in Philadelphia. Pretty solid pickup, honestly. I mean, because it definitely wasn't the offense of Philadelphia that was the problem in the Super Bowl. And we'll get to that in a second, but this is a big hire. Jeff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I went in. It was a pipe dream to get Jim Harbaugh. I knew it wasn't happening, but that was probably my number one. I was really high up on DeMeco Ryans, so I'm kind of really mad and happy for the Texans, But yeah, him and Callahan, I think, are on pretty level playing field for me. But the more I look into Steichen, the more excited I get, because he's coached, Phillip Rivers, who is a statue. He's coached Herbert. He's coached Hurts. And what he's able to do is mold offenses around his quarterback to get the best out of them. He doesn't go in with, this is the offense I'm going to run, this is what we're doing, and you either do it or you don't. Like, he's able to get the best out of his players. And it's not just for the quarterback. Like, he did a great job utilizing running backs, A.J. Brown. Like, he's done a phenomenal job in Philadelphia. So they had one of the best rushing attacks, if not the best. So I'm really excited to see, whatever quarterback it is that we bring in, hopefully from the draft. And with Jonathan Taylor, I'm excited to see what he can do with the offense. So I wasn't really optimistic, especially when they were interviewing like Wink and Bieniemy. I was like, please God, no. Or Saturday. So I'm really happy, but I think the writing was kind of on the wall at least a week ago when they blocked anyone from interviewing Bradley. It kind of seemed like they were keeping him on to be the defensive coordinator for,
going forward.
So, I mean, it had to be discussed who his staff is going to be, and I think Steichen wanted him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just kind of a real dick move to block from interviews, and then, oh, you're not going to be on staff anyway. So I think the writing was there. They just couldn't announce it.
Makes sense. And some of that brings up some interesting thoughts and stuff that we've actually talked about off camera. As Isaiah has mentioned ad nauseum, how he would love to see Shaq Griffin leave the Jacksonville Jaguars in one way or another. Cut, trade, dropped off in the middle of the Sahara.
Look,
Any of those things.
He revitalized Stephon Gilmore's career. Maybe he can do the same thing with Shaq Griffin, who he's had before,
Look, Shaq Griffin's technically younger. And
He is younger.
And he's...
He only has a small cap hit of $13.8 million. That's it.
Unless he's cut.
That's it.
That's
it.
Now, secondarily... see what I did there? His best years were when Gus Bradley was still in Seattle, right?
Yes, I believe. Wait.
So It's
Yes.
right. Yeah. So there's a reason that would happen in my mind is the fact that Gus Bradley knows already how to get the pinnacle out of this guy. He got enough out of this guy to get a massive deal from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. I'm not saying that that's means a lot. It's not like a massive deal from the Patriots or something back in the Brady era, but like they be throwing some money around sometimes, and God. So that's an interesting thought. With that, if you guys have anything else to weigh in on that, go for it. Free for all.
I just
I
wanted
actually
to
want-
add with-
Free for all.
I'll be right
No,
back.
I just wanted to add that with Steichen, it kind of really opens up. Everyone keeps talking about trading up, and with this hire, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if it's Bryce Young, Stroud, Levis, or even what's his name, Richardson, I think Steichen can turn any one of them into a success, or at least even if we had just average quarterback play and average offense, this team would have been so much better. So he's shown that he can work with anyone, and I don't think there's a need to move up at all and burn capital to do it. So I
I'll
feel
be
like
right
we
back.
need to chill out on this.
Sorry.
No, I agree. As a Titans fan, I hate this move. So because I hate this move, that means I think it was a good hire by the Colts. I'm glad that, well, I'm not glad, but I am glad they didn't get Callahan because I did like Callahan more than Steichen. But that was also me thinking Sirianni called those plays. However, I was wrong. Yeah, so he did. Nick Sirianni did call plays, last year, but he gave up the duties. And since Sirianni's been calling plays for the Eagles, they're 20-7, which is incredible, no matter how you slice it. And this was one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL, and he did a great job. I don't think you guys should trade up. If you guys do make any trades, which we talked about, I think yesterday, the day before, I would go Lamar Jackson, man. I think Lamar Jackson would be incredible in that offense. You could also keep Pittman there because I know they're talking about trading Pittman away to like the Bears for #1 overall. I don't think you need to take #1 overall. I think all these quarterbacks are basically the same, except Richardson. I don't think I'd touch Richardson. He reminds me a lot of Malik Willis, so take him later in the draft. But if we're talking about those first round dudes, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Levis, I don't love any of those guys. I mean, NFL quarterbacks are the hardest thing in the world to predict. So I want someone that you know what you're going to get, and I'd like Lamar Jackson if I was the Indianapolis Colts. I think that would be a dangerous team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really like Lamar Jackson, and outside of Mark Andrews, he's probably one of the better tight ends in the NFL.
He is, for sure.
But outside of him, they haven't given him anything. Like running back, any other receivers. I wouldn't even. I mean, they have an okay line, but even their defense is highly suspect. It's like they just haven't put any talent around him. So
and they're always hurt.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know if Lamar. I mean, of course he wants $50 million a year, but it's like I don't know if that's.
I want $50 million a year too.
Like, does he just want out of Baltimore? Like, I wouldn't be. Out of everyone in the NFL, Lamar Jackson's the only one I'd say to trade for. Other than that, get your young quarterback and move forward. But yeah. If Lamar Jackson is on the market, it's tradable.
It looks like he might be.
If I don't know, I just have a feeling that Houston's not going to take Hendon Hooker, and he'll end up going later to the Colts, and he'll end up being like the next coming of Christ, essentially.
Hooker's definitely going to go. I keep seeing him projected third, fourth round. I think he's going second. Quarterbacks always make that leap forward. Last year was weird, but nobody liked any of those quarterbacks. But quarterbacks usually get overdrafted. I see Hooker getting overdrafted, even though I think he's probably the most pro-ready of all of them. It's just his injury scares me. Not the age, the injury scares me.
Yeah, well, the injury, I mean, he'll be back in like September or something.
Yeah, but you're a rookie, man. You didn't want that off season.
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, maybe you do a Washington situation where you draft Robert Griffin, and then in the same draft in round like 4, you draft Kirk Cousins. Insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole issue with that is I feel like this is Ballard's last chance.
Yeah,
like another 3 or 4 win season and he's done. I don't think he's going to roll the dice on Hooker and
I'm not saying roll the dice. I mean, if y'all really want to take whoever's left after Houston inevitably takes, either Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud.
Wait, so you think that they're going quarterback now? You changing up?
Absolutely are.
Look, I've never wanted them to do that. I've always known that's what they're going to do. But like, anyway, not the point. If y'all take whoever's left there, that's what I anticipate happening. Unless you guys get a marquee deal for like a Lamar. But even still,
like I pitched trading players to get the number 1 overall pick if it means keeping the 4th.
Yeah.
Like if it means trading away Pittman and Leonard and, what's his name, Kenny Moore, all things that Chicago needs. They're proven talent. It's like, if that's the way we get it, then fine. But if it means trading up from 4 and giving all this other shit to do it, it's just not worth it.
Would you trade the 4 for Justin Fields, like a package deal?
Trade who?
Trade for Justin Fields.
He's an Ohio State.
I mean, he's not bad. I just...
It looks like he's on the market.
Like I said, the only person in the NFL I trade for was Lamar.
No, he's not on the market. The Bears just came out the other day. We're like, we're sticking with Fields this year.
All right. Last I saw with Fields, which I don't really keep up with the Bears news because it's the Bears, but last I saw with him, he's like, yeah, I'd like to know what they're going to do with that number 1 overall pick. Like, do I need to pack my bags? 'Cause, I mean, last year they were going to trade him for Russell. They offered a whole bunch of stuff to get Russell Wilson, and Seattle's like, nah, I don't want Fields. I'd rather have Drew Lock.
Yeah.
And they ended up rolling with Dino.
Yep. Well, I hope that Isaiah has not fallen in the toilet or whatever.
Yeah, he got gumboed out.
Yeah, the gumbo.
Loud down gumbo. It could happen, man.
Gumbo makes you go.
There he goes.
Hey, right on time.
Sorry,
We
I
were
had some
just talking about you.
Yeah, I had some people coming over to look at the puppies, and so like they were like, "Yeah, we're on our way." So I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start at like 7:30. We'll be done around 8:15." And then I was like, "Fuck!" I got home later than expected, and now they're like, "Hey, we're almost there." I'm like, "Fuck!" So I had to go take care of something in the living room real quick, but we're good.
Hey, it's a quick time to give an ad if you want. If anyone wants any puppies.
8:25. We got 7 minutes, boys. Let's wrap this shit. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I actually have 6 out of the 9. It looks like pretty much taken, like not confirmed, but like confirmed at the same time. You know what I mean? Confirmed they want dog, not confirmed which dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're doing great.
That's good.
I'm still here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the Super Bowl, boys. First of all, let's get all the weird stuff that's not actually about the game out of the way first. My opinion, the halftime show was kind of whack. Look, it wasn't necessarily that Rihanna didn't give a good performance. I think she did. But I think because of her pregnancy, she was like, I'm only going to do a very limited number of things. And the NFL was like, we already paid you. I guess,
Yeah, we signed you like 3 years ago. Like, you have to do this. You should have known before you got pregnant, okay?
Yeah. I mean,
I saw a thing. It was like, what do they expect Rihanna to do? This, and it's that girl like spinning around on her pregnant belly.
yeah. No, I don't know what the expectation would be at that point. If I'm the NFL, I'd be like, all right, we're just gonna not do you this year. We're gonna call anyone else. Lady Gaga has got to be doing a thing.
I'm sure she could hang from the ceiling on a piano and do the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand why they had a pregnant woman out there. Like, all right, like I don't like pop music, so I'd rather not her anyway. But I'd rather her.
They should have just canceled her, and they should have just made Chris Stapleton do that too.
Woof.
Right? Chris Stapleton killed the national anthem.
I don't even blame her. Like, she's pregnant, whatever. And it's like over the years, she's collaborated with a ton of other people. It's like if they knew she was pregnant.
Yeah, where was everybody else?
Guest stars. Like, bring out
like last year.
Yeah. Well, we knew that was like bring out at least one guest, and I'd made a joke. Bring out Chris Brown. That was in poor taste, but she's collaborated with tons of people. Like, bring someone. It was just in the backup dancers were bizarre. They ran on the field. I don't know if you watched Sunny in Philly.
The one girl almost fell off the platform.
Ran on the field like the birds of prey. It was bizarre.
Yeah, did you see the one that almost fell off the platform?
Yeah.
One of them, like during the thing, she got kind of close to the edge and like fell and like barely caught herself or himself, whoever it was, and like almost fell off the platform that was suspended from the air.
Nice. Could have had death of the Super Bowl. Anyway,
I mean,
all right. So
we weren't the target audience, so
let's get a little closer back into the game here. All right. So the game, I said that the Chiefs would win in a close game. That came to pass. I'm not saying I'm, right all the time or anything, but that was pretty nice.
Okay, before Jeff goes on his rant,
I don't have.
it was a holding. Okay, it was a holding penalty. That was the correct penalty. But in that situation, they can't just not call it because it's the Super Bowl. At the same time, though, what happened was, if you go back and watch it, and I watched the video on this, there are multiple times where Bradbury straight up tackles Juju, pulls him off his route, other people, and they didn't call it. So clearly, Juju and Patrick Mahomes are going to go say, hey, ref, this keeps happening. And sure enough, they caught the one that happened in the biggest moment of the game. Don't blame the refs for throwing a penalty when a penalty occurred. Don't blame them for that. It happened. Whether it was egregious or not, he's been doing it all game. He gets caught. They had a couple third downs where James Bradbury tackled Juju and pulled him off his route when the ball was coming to him, and they didn't call anything. So if those get called, they might have scored 2 more touchdowns, and it's not even a close game. So I just want to get that off my chest here.
To piggyback off that real quick, even if the game was altered, so to speak, by those calls, the second half of the game was dominated by the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't not score. They just didn't not. So I don't think those penalties really had any sort of real weight to change on that game.
If that same penalty happened in the second quarter or whatever, no one would be talking about it.
Exactly.
It's just when it happened.
Yeah. And then the catch that wasn't a catch, Devontae Smith, that was
BS.
That was accurate.
I had the Chiefs by 3. I had my Chiefs buddy over here. He's from Kansas. So I was rooting with the Chiefs with him. And I'm like, dude, he had it. It was pinned. He had 2 feet, and then his knee touched out of bounds with the ball in the same place. I'm like, the play's over and it's a catch. No. But they have that. I understand the rule and why it's not a catch. I get it.
I think it was the right call.
Stupid ass rule. It's a stupid ass rule. I'm sorry.
Me personally,
we talked about this ad nauseum, on a group chat during the Super Bowl, but I do want to propose my rule to the mass audience. I think we need to have a 1-minute cap, maybe 2-minute cap on these reviews, because we overanalyze these things so much that you can look at 1,000 different angles and everyone come up with something different. They need to keep the speed of the game going, and 2 minutes, if you don't have a decision, go with whatever we originally had, and then just keep it moving. Play this game.
If that same thing happened in the field of play, I mean, they had language. Oh, he has to make a football move. I thought catching the fucking football was I thought running was a football move. Everything they're doing is a football. This language.
They're playing football.
It's open to interpretation. It's just.
It's really not open to interpretation.
He had a knee. It's a catch.
You're confused on terminology. It's not open to interpretation. A football move
Clearly.
is made after an individual gets the ball. So, when a running back gets a handoff, they make a football move by making a cut or, just going where the play is supposed to go. That's a football move, right? They possessed the ball and made a football move. When you're in the open field, you got to catch the ball, possess it, and make a football move upfield with 2 steps.
So on the sideline, but I'm saying if you had 2 feet in on the sideline, went out of bounds, then it's not a catch because he didn't turn upfield. Because it's on the sideline, he didn't make a football move. None of that makes any sense.
But the situation is not the same. Just because it's in the open field,
then it shouldn't matter.
No, it definitely should.
The different situations don't determine a different catch. That doesn't make sense.
It does, because there are different things at play. You don't have to worry
if it
about
happens in the middle of the field, it's a catch. But on the sideline, it's not.
You don't have to worry about stepping out of bounds in the middle of the field, which brings in a whole other set of rules. Let's just say instead of that, they ruled it a catch, and said, "Oh wait, we didn't see this flag. It was actually unnecessary roughness on the defender." You know what I mean? There's a whole other set of rules because the guy's going out of bounds. So it has to be.
Hit him late. It's still unnecessary roughness.
I'm not saying that it actually was. I'm just saying that because he was out of bounds or going out of bounds, that is a rule that applies to him specifically in that situation. That doesn't apply to him.
He's already out of bounds.
I
mean, it can't. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying. I feel like they've added language that overcomplicates something that's simple. That's my whole thing.
He went to the ground and the ball moved. like
He
to
had
a
two
point where
steps and a knee down already.
doesn't matter.
That's a catch in the middle of the
steps
field.
and a knee down. It does not matter when you literally have to complete the action of the catch, even if
That's
that
what I'm
includes
talking about.
falling.
I'm looking at you, Blake. I don't, you can't. I don't know if I'm actually looking at you on the thing, but like, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either. That should have been a catch, and it was an incredible catch too. Yeah, I feel like he was robbed on that one. They just spent way too much time overanalyzing it. This football, man, just catch the football, just keep it moving, and that was ridiculous.
Just read the rule book, guys. It's kind of it makes more
I
sense.
get. I understand the
I
rule.
understand the
It's a
rule.
stupid
It's
rule.
just stupid. Yeah, they're
It's not a stupid
overanalyzing it.
rule. No, it's not overanalyzing it. It's literally just like, okay, if I tackled you right as you catch a pass and the ball squirts out, like immediately, like bang, bang, incomplete pass, right?
He was in stride.
Right,
took
but
the
That's
pass.
the end of the,
That's the
that's
football
the
move.
end of the action. There's no football move. If you're in the act of trying to catch a ball,
Caught the ball and ran with it.
he
He
was
was running
he was-
upfield.
He was running upfield, correct. He was
With
trying to possess the ball throughout the entire process of the thing. From the moment the ball touches his fingers to the moment he stops moving on the ground, that ball needs to be secure.
So if I catch it at the 10 and I run all the way to the 1, but I go to the ground and it pops out at the 1, I didn't complete the whole process and I went to the ground. That doesn't make sense.
That's not an accurate example.
That doesn't make sense.
Those are very
Of course it
different. That's the
doesn't.
ground causing a fumble.
No,
Ground
if
caused
you
the
caught
fumble,
if
man.
you caught the ball at the 10 and ran all the way to the 1, bobbling it the whole time, and then you never possessed it,
That's not
that's an
good.
incomplete pass.
He possessed it. It never moved until
No.
at the very end after 2 feet in the knee. I'm saying it was a catch.
2 feet in the
Catch.
knee only matters when you're in the quarter of the end zone and you're falling in a situation where it calls for 2 feet in the knee. If he had maintained possession of the ball throughout the entire time, 2 feet in the knee was all that needed. But he didn't.
I'm saying it's a stupid rule. I get the rule. I know why it wasn't a catch, but it's stupid.
It's been a rule for as long as Calvin Johnson had that weird touchdown that wasn't a touchdown.
That was stupid too. That's a catch.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's a touchdown. It's stupid.
He caught the ball and then was falling down and just let the ball touch the ground and took his hand off the ball.
Obviously,
making-
that was
without
called a catch, and it should stay.
literally, I can't remember what their reasoning was. I think it was because he caught it and like instantaneously like dropped it. Kind of like Arian Foster in that touchdown that he didn't have against the Chargers, where he caught the ball at the 1 yard line and then takes a single step into the end zone with the ball and drops it as soon as he's crossing the end zone line. Not a completed pass.
Like, I hate the Cowboys. I'm glad they lost. I'm going to go way back in time, and I'll say, Des Bryant caught it. I'm going way back. It was a catch. Yeah. I fucking hate the Cowboys. I love seeing them lose and cry about it, but it was a catch too. I just hate the rule. I hate it.
I think the rule makes a lot of sense.
don't agree with
It'd be like
Me too.
trying to me, it's like the equivalent of I don't really have. I was trying to think of like an out of football example there, but I couldn't. Really
Baseball. I'm just kidding.
When baseball happened. I don't even know enough about baseball to give a reference about that.
Boy, hit ball and run.
The rules are simple.
Sometimes
The new rules are
It's
nice.
better. That's what I'm saying.
Baseball also has very little reviewing.
I just think. Oh, my bad. I just think it would. I think it would ruin the sport of football if all you had to do is get 2 hands on the ball, get 2 feet in, like you immediately get possession. Like I think it would ruin the sport because there's so many plays where, like they do that, but they can't keep the ball to the ground. But as long as they have possession for a couple seconds, it seems like half a second. They have 2 hands, they bring it into their chest, and then they drop it before they hit the ground, or they hit the ground, it comes out. I mean, I don't think that should be a touchdown.
I don't think it should be either.
And the reason for the
That's an
running back
incomplete
one is
pass.
because, the running back, they have 100% possession because they're running down the field with the ball.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the difference there. I know you brought that up before, Jeff.
Isaiah,
but
go get your gumbo again. Get out of here.
I already ate my
2 to
gumbo.
1 before
Hey,
you
it's
get
not
out.
like y'all were bringing up any good points. You're just saying it's a stupid rule. What's a good replacement for it?
That was a catch.
Oh, I mean,
It wasn't a catch. Like, by nobody's definition, should that have been a catch other than, like, you watched it in real time and you're like, I don't know, that was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
the
I mean,
Jamar Chase one was way closer than this one.
And I'll say this: like, if they had initially said that it was an incomplete pass, then I would say you don't overturn it.
And the ball never went out of bounds. Like, it never hit the ground either. Like that was a count.
What are you talking about, dude? The ball
Definitely
literally
hit the
rolled
ground.
from his helmet to his nutsack. What are you talking about?
I'm saying
his
even before
forearm
that, I feel
hits
like
the
as soon as
ground.
his knee hit out of bounds, like then the play that was it. Like
The play
I
doesn't end.
don't agree with them having to go.
Yeah, but that takes DBs completely out of the play. There's nothing DBs or defensive players can do.
The DB wasn't even a part of it.
Yes,
I got
he was literally
my good
tackling him.
metaphor. It'd be like being in a car crash and the insurance only covers you on the immediate impact, not the stuff that happened to the other cars or to your own vehicle after the immediate impact. Like, you know, if you hit somebody going real fast and you flip your car and hit a bunch of other cars, you're just like, you're the insurance agent being like, hey, we only got this. That's where you're drawing the line instead of like continuing with where the car landed and all of the damage that happened later. That's the point of the rule, is to make sure that, like, hey, you know, we're double checking this, making sure you actually caught that ball all the way through the process of it, rather than like 75% completion. Okay.
It's like when you have dirt on the well, let's not go there.
I guess receivers have to do like the Macarena and shit before they go to the ground. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
They
Dude,
don't have to do
literally-
Macarena.
Yeah,
You got to catch the ball like
you
normal.
just got to hold on to it all the way
Catch
to the
the ball.
ground.
Yeah, catch the ball like normal,
I don't agree with
all
it.
the way to the ground, and through the process of you being tackled.
I don't.
Yeah, if it's a contested catch, the ball can't come out that easily.
Like at all.
They get rolling all around under him.
Like David Tyree's helmet catch moved less.
What's up?
Like dramatically less. All right. Anyway, folks, we're running out of time here. So
Jesus Christ.
we got less than a minute. So boys, we got
Yeah. I picked the Chiefs to win by 3. Just saying.
attaboy. Folks, thanks for watching. This has been episode 100. Everybody be good people. Like and subscribe. See you later.